here with Keyshawn Summerville. Keyshawn, it was just 2 weeks ago that it was actually signed that NIL could be earned by high school athletes in Michigan.
Yes,
What kind of went through your mind when that kind of came out? What were the conversations like with your family?
It's crazy because, I think I was on Facebook and I seen one of the NIL representatives posted that it was, legal in Michigan. And, right when I seen it, I called my dad. I was like, yo, Dad, they just passed it. Because me and my dad, we've been, looking to get this done for a long time, since I was a freshman, so that it finally passed. We got on it the same night, we were on it. I think maybe right when you got home, we were already on the phone with people, just trying to get things moving. We were trying to be the first, athlete in Michigan. That was our goal, and, it happened, so it was great.
And then I guess take me through, you signed the NIL deal, name, image, and likeness with Eastside Fish Fry.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that. How excited were you to do that? And, tell me what you guys went through to try to make that happen.
When my dad told me the news that Eastside, they wanted to, partner up, it was great because I've been eating Eastside since I was a kid, and there's a park right up the street that I always played basketball at when I was younger. So it was great. And then, signing the contract, I was sitting down at my table, it was just a lot of emotions because, it was a dream come true, sort of, because, not too many kids, my age get to do stuff like that. So I signed it, put the pen to paper, and it was just amazing. And, it's probably not going to hit me till maybe after I graduate and stuff, but what I'm doing right now is just really, really good and, just super blessed.
I was about to ask you that. Have you had time to really think about, what you've kind of accomplished, being the first person in Michigan to kind of be an NIL person who's making money?
And that's the thing, I haven't really had a chance to sit down. I've been moving. I've been really busy the past week. I've been super busy with the basketball and the NIL and meetings, stuff like that. The only time I get to really sit down is when I go to sleep. And, I'm tired from the day, so I just try to go to bed. But, I do think I need to take some time to just think about it. But, I just got a lot going on right now. So I'm just, yeah.
And tell me, how it's been. I've seen some videos of, a packed house at Eastside Fish Fry.
Yeah.
But how's it been to kind of see how people have enjoyed, and being out there supporting you?
It's crazy. It's surreal. It's a real moment. A lot of emotions going on during that because, I walked in the Eastside and my poster's up in a restaurant. That's insane. That's a dream come true for me, and I know for a lot of other kids. But it's just been amazing, and I just. Super, I keep saying super blessed to be here because I really am, and it's just amazing.
What's it been like with your family? I know you said first person you called was kind of your dad, let's hop on this and things like that. But what's it been like with your family now? I know you said you haven't really had time to really think about it until you lay down, but what's been the support like from your family, and how's it been, sharing this moment with your family?
The support's been crazy. It's been crazy since day one, since I was, a young kid. But having a good family in my corner is really good for me because it keeps me motivated to keep going and, pursue more greatness ahead of me. So, just family has always been there for me. And I feel like I said, I called my dad right away, and he just means so much to me. He's like my best friend, even though he's my father. But, so he was the first person I called. So he just means so much to me.
Kind of going away from that, going to basketball for a sec. Just a few weeks ago, it's been a crazy few weeks, like you said. You just got the scoring record at Sexton as well. What was that moment like for you? I know you were trying to keep it a little low key when you did it against Portland, but what was it like, in your mind, knowing that you had just broke the scoring record?
It was crazy, because growing up, I never thought I'd be able to do something like that. But I just knew when I was younger, if I put in the hard work, that success would come with it. So it was kind of emotional. I got back home and in the locker room, it was very emotional because. I got my coaches there with me, my teammates. These guys have been with me through this whole journey. And, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I'd be the person I am today. So it was just very emotional, just super insane and just unreal.
And then kind of piggybacking off of that, when you were kind of awarded that trophy, which was a really nice trophy.
Yeah, for sure.
And you had all these great people saying great things about you, from Coach DeLeon to, your dad and different people. What was that moment like for you to kind of share that with your family and your friends and your teammates?
Yeah, it felt amazing because that gym, Sexton, I went to games as a younger kid and seeing all the other people play. And so, I kind of sat there or stood there for a little bit and was like, wow, this is really happening. I'm really the all-time leading scorer at Sexton. It's a dream come true. And, I almost got emotional right there, but I wasn't trying to, do all that cameras on stuff, but just, insane.
For you, you've accomplished a lot, at Sexton, from the NIL to the scoring record and different things like that, but can you put into words of what your favorite memory has been so far with Sexton?
Man, that's a good question. Favorite memory so far with Sexton? I'd say probably winning the first district, because it hadn't been done in 12 years. And, me, Marquise Murray, and Mario Murray, that was our goal coming in. Like, we just wanted to win a trophy. We wanted to win something. I would say just that because, it hadn't been done in so long. But also the regional championship, too. Like, I mean, that
half-court shot?
That was insane. Like, that's a whole different category. Like, we got to put that somewhere else. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's Hall of Fame right there. So it's just insane.
From the half-court shot, you guys won that regional title. But with that being said, though, you guys are one of the top teams, in your division this season. You guys have already been knocking off teams that many people didn't think that you guys were going to beat. With that being said, what does this team have to do? I know you guys want that state championship. What does this team have to do or continue to do in order to get to the Breslin and come home with that trophy?
It's got to stay to the course, First practice this year, we were all super, super hungry from last year. We made it. We were one game away from the states, one game away, I just feel like that made everybody so much hungrier in that we have 6 seniors on the team, and we all just won it because of our last year. So just staying to the course, listening to our teammates, listening to coaches, that's what's going to get us over that hump. And, we're not done yet. Like, we're not satisfied. We've been doing a lot this year, but, we know we have bigger fish to fry.
Bigger fish to fry.
East side.
East side, there you go.
Yeah.
With that being said, I know you talked about how you, Maurice, and Mario talked about, like, your goal was to win district. Yeah. Has it been a conversation, especially this season, like, we got to get that state championship?
Oh, yeah. No, it's Bres or bust. Like, that's like our big thing. Like, if we don't make it to Bres, it's a bust. But, a lot of people might not look at it like that, but that's how high our expectations are this year for our team, And, we want to win so bad, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win.
With a lot of eyes on you from an individual standpoint, how do you kind of stay level on what you need to do for the team as well as what the team needs to do to continue to be successful?
Good question. I just feel like just being me, staying being a leader, just staying, like I said, staying to the course is what's really going, for me and for the team, just staying to the course because we've been thinking about this. When we lost, it was 275 days until we played again. And so when the season came by, it was straight business.
A lot of eyes on you, especially with the NIL deal, but even before that, a lot of eyes were on you. With that being said, a lot of people wondering what's next for you. Do you have a timeline on when you want to make your college decision? Because I know a lot of people are anxious for it.
Yeah, a lot of people are anxious. I get a lot of texts throughout the day asking about it. But, I'm just really trying to stay patient, just focus on the season. But I would probably say in the next month or so we will know a decision.
All right. Here with Keyshawn Summerville, one of the top players in the area.